Hey guys, this is Mark here. I'm coming to you with State of Gaming Part 2. Oh, and we're going to discuss owning a console. Is it worth it in 2024? Really, is it owning an Xbox or PlayStation worth it? I know certain caveats to having a PlayStation over an Xbox, but with a lot of games Sony going towards PC, Helldivers 2 being one of them, Spider-Man 2 coming out eventually, and the thing Last of Us, and also Horizon Forbidden West was the last one that came out for PC. Is it really worth buying a console knowing very well the PS5 Pro can come out and be almost just as powerful as most low-range PCs? I mean, powerful enough for a console. I'm not saying the PS5 Pro is going to be powerful enough than the 3090. That shit ain't gonna fly. Okay, so once again, guys, for all that, like, subscribe, notification, ring that bell. By 146 subscribers, I love you all. I want to hit 200 at least before the end of the year. It'd be cool if I can get to 200. Then we'll go from there. But I thank you guys for watching my video. Thank you guys for being here for over since I started 10 years ago. Started earlier, but I never had the same footnote I have now. Now I have a lot more traction than I had before. And it's sweet. But getting back to the let's get back to the conversation at hand now. Is there going to be a downfall of consoles? Is there going to be a console generation where it's just a set-top box that has a controller, almost not like a Stadia or like a Zoom, or not a Zoom, but a Luna, Amazon Luna, but something like that? Eventually, probably, but I think console manufacturers are still like Sony and Microsoft. Nintendo's kind of their own deal. They're doing their own thing, so I don't really include them in this. But eventually, they may go digital. But what separates brief side note though, what separates Nintendo from the other two guys, the bigger guys, is that the other two guys actually, Nintendo, make a lot more money off the sales of software as they do the console. Yes, they sold over 150 million consoles, but and they make their own consoles, so they make a lot of money. But their software is always the biggest king, always has been with Nintendo. Where I think with them, they like doing it. Microsoft and Sony have tapped in. I call Alaska, or I call PC the Alaska. They're out there drilling into the PlayStation Keystone Pipeline and drawing out that sweet money called Steam money, PC money. And PlayStation has got late to the party because Microsoft has been up there for at least almost 10 years now doing it. And with a lot more success now, especially with Game Pass Ultimate going to PC and more games on PC, and people can buy. Even if you don't like Game Pass Ultimate, you can still buy Halo and Gears of War, and you can still get that sweet Xbox games. But it's still a cheaper price. But is there any reason to own a console? I mean, literally, this is part of this whole thing. Is part of the state of gaming Part 2. Is it really possible to say, if consoles vanished, would PC exist anymore, or cease to exist? And I don't think that it will cease to exist. I don't think that it will cease to exist. But I think that how you have the moon chasing the sun. Sun comes up, moon goes down. Moon comes up, sun goes down. No, without that perfect balance, we wouldn't have it. Yes, I know certain parts of the world, in the very northern part of the planet, that the sun doesn't even set. It sun sets only at a certain time, just sits there, because the curvature of the Earth. Summertime. I think in Alaska or Norway somewhere. Well, I think it's more in Norway, that certain parts of Norway they have total daylight. It's still daylight outside. and certain parts of Alaska is dark for 30 days, or parts of, light 30 days to dark 30 days. So it's kind of weird balance. But that had to happen. So, will gaming cease to exist? Would gaming destroy, explode, go off into the sunset? Burst into flames if it was no, way there? It was like no consoles. No, I don't think so. We all know that Nintendo will make consoles. They'll make handhelds if they have to, and that's still a console technically. And when Microsoft coming out with the S version consoles, probably more powerful than the S itself, what they're saying. It's probably gonna be interesting because if Xbox does get rid of their consoles and go totally digital, and that S series could be the X series as a handheld or a set-top box. So I don't think for a second here that people should worry about the gaming consoles. Gaming consoles coming to an end. But I would say that if you're like me and you got off the consoles because it's just every few years, boom, there's a new one coming out, and you really can't do anything about it. You've got to go out there and buy brand new consoles every couple of years. It makes you feel kind of silly. Like you're wasting your time. Like you're out there just running around, just buying consoles every. It seems like every 2 years, but it's like 4 or 5 years now. Yes, we all know the 10-year gap with the 360 and PS3, but they had many variations of that. They had a bad arcade version that was crap, and they got better, and the PlayStation 3 fat model went down to the smaller slim model. So you had many variations, big difference. And also, it didn't happen much anymore for that. You get to beat that with a Pet Rock. I think what beats that is Atari 2600 was out longer. Okay? But that being said, though, is there saying that is there any belief that if consoles went away, would gaming not exist anymore? No, I think somebody will poke a hole like Sony did in the console market, in the handheld market, or the streaming market, in Amazon Luna, or Microsoft will probably say, okay, we'll set up a set-top box, like a stream service, and just play games on your TV. Because you can go to Sam's Club right now, across street Sam's Club, right? You can go to Sam's Club, across street Sam's Club right now. You can go to Sam's Club and buy TVs that have have Xbox Game Pass already on them. You get you get like 3 months of Game Pass included. It's on a TV built in. Even Sony is toying with the idea of putting their apps on TVs now. Even PC eventually, you can play all your PlayStation games on your PC. Have it streamed from the service, from the server or whatever. Or hopefully maybe even download it to your SSD if they're not being a bunch of dicks about it. But that's Sony for you. I can understand why they don't want it. No, I don't think Nintendo wants to have Mario streamed across Nintendo servers to an Xbox or a PlayStation. So, you have to have some brand loyalty line somewhere, right? So, I get that, and I understand that. That's why I'm not faulting them for it. But I do fault them, the game manufacturers, because they spent so long trying to catch up to PC. And when they finally did, they don't know what to do with it, because now they're making consoles that are obsolete in the Xbox S series, or too powerful in the X series. They can't full power because it has a little brother called the S there that's not full powered. That pretty much is a set-top box that sits there and glows, and it takes a lot of power away from the Xbox X series. People say, well, the PS5 has a digital. True. But it's the exact same damn power as the original. It just, doesn't have a disk drive or a Blu-ray drive. Exact same power. They didn't gimp it. See, the other thing what Microsoft does is they gimp their consoles. They gimped their consoles So you force you to go out and go buy the brand new and force out and go buy the brand new fancier one or fancier one of the two. Really not understanding that all they're doing is is shooting themselves in the foot. Has anybody run a race when being shot in the foot? It ain't very easy to run a race when you've been shot in the foot. Get the Novocaine, putting your foot and try to run. See how entertaining that's going to be for you. You probably twist your ankle. Or if you're shot in the foot, probably do a lot more damage. Because it's not easy. That's what Microsoft does. So is it a curse to own gaming now consoles? No. I think owning game consoles is a good thing if you like the simplicity. But even then, even with simplicity, there is some caveat to problems that these consoles can really overcome. And that's stop thinking that everybody in the damn world wants to buy your crappy console. See, I don't understand the full notion of people going out there and having console wars to two things that are gimped in 2 years. When the Xbox PlayStation came out, they were gimped. They were gimped from the start. My 3070 still has more power than those two consoles put together. Now, a PS5 Pro might have more under-hood raw power. And on the Xbox X Series 2, whatever you call it, 1.5 might have more power than on the hood, but they don't utilize it by developers. Doesn't matter. Because it's just sitting there, raw power sitting there and not being used. They're leaving raw power on the table and not grabbing hold of it. So I think a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't get that. They don't need to do that. Consoles, I think with consoles today, is that people today just don't get that you have a lot more power with a PC. You could do a lot more things with games with PC than you could with any console. And with the consoles now allowing you to adjust your quality settings and just you're using not real DLSS. You can't do that right now, but you can adjust your frame rate, and you want high resolution, low resolution. You can get better frame rate. Now they're trying to increase more PC into the console. A lot of console sadists are upset with that because all we're being PC. Gaming consoles are just small PCs. They have a processor, and a microprocessor. They have RAM, and they have a motherboard. And then they have a GPU. They have all things. You have sound chips. They have all things that a PC has, just a lot smaller, a lot weaker, or was weaker. So I think State of the Gaming Part 2, this episode, is not a bad thing to have consoles. I have an Xbox One X that I still play Feeding Frenzy 2 on. Why? Because it's not available on PC app. The Xbox game is not available on PC yet. Once it does, I'll probably never touch my Xbox again. But I only play for that game because I like swimming around as a fish and eating other fish. It's a time killer. But also, it kind of soothes and relaxes me by swimming around a fish and getting eaten by a shark eventually. But it's just it's a challenge that I do. This will calm myself down. Sometimes you have to do stuff like that. Sometimes you have to find your happiness, and we can find it. And you can't find it by worrying about things and worrying about stuff that you can't control, like gaming, for example. All day long, I can worry about gaming all day long. I can worry about if consoles go out of business, consoles stop being produced. Or I can just play the games that the publishers and companies make, and provide them with money to keep them going. So the consoles have games to sell or to have played on their console. My biggest thing is State of the Game 2, it's not really the consoles. It's just the games themselves being canceled. Because right now, we have a lot of people out there losing their jobs because of poor record keeping, poor or sloppy record keeping. People can't just get their jobs and go. They have to sit there and go. They can't, they can't just go and get stuff done. They have to do things, that are rough. They have to go out there and spend money they don't have, make games they don't sell. Then they have to close down stuff and people lose their jobs. Or whatever the case may be, it can be anything else, doesn't matter. All those apply, though. All those apply. So it could be poor record keeping, bad financial growth, a piss poor game, or all the above. The point being is, though, folks, that in the State of the Gaming 2 here, part 2, we're seeing a lot of those problems finally rear its ugly head. And I mentioned this in State of the Gaming 1, part 1, that if companies don't take care of their people and don't take care of their IPs, games, they may start losing them. And you're seeing it. You're seeing it more and more and more every single day. Companies not willingly to change the times. And it's sad. Places like GameStop are still around because they sell weird crap that people buy. But you can't sell, a digital game of Helldivers 2, at a physical store. Well, you could. Yeah, you can buy the code. But you can't physically download that. You have to get the code, get the receipt, and go home and enter the code in and download it. So, in selling digital, merchandise that a lot of companies do sell, Walmart, but the GameStop, they sell codes to games that are digitally online only. Well, how code doesn't work? Do you bring it back to the company, or do you call the company up? That's what I'm talking about. Our digital age, the State of the Gaming 2, the digital age is fine and all, but not everything, should be digital and sold in stores. Games should not be sold in stores that are digital only. Because what happens if the code is wrong? What happens if the code doesn't work? Well, selling our games is useless. Now you probably contact the company or contact the store and get a refund from it, and they'll probably refund it. But then again, they can't trust that you didn't download it and refund it. How they know the game is still active on the on the receipt? So this new digital craze that these consoles are trying to do, and even PC's doing it too. I see full games of Helldivers 2 cards being sold at GameStop, and I kind of chuckle. Like, these people are selling digital coupons of games that may not work when they get it and try to get it to activate. And if you're going to buy a game, you're going to buy it on the server, Steam, whatever, whatever you're buying on. Then you have a branch to the company to talk to. Buying third parties somewhere else is not always good. And this is a final part of the State of the Gaming part 2 is digital sales of digital goods like games and stuff. How many codes have worked? How many times I bought a Game Pass or Microsoft points and it would not work, and I was out $50 because can't tell if you didn't use it and bring it back. So why am I driving back from here to here? We don't know. We can't get your money back. And I call Microsoft, and I'm out of money anyway. It has happened to me and a lot of people. So, when we buy anything on digital, you buy anything that requires digital, you don't know. That's physical, but only digital only, you just don't know. So, I think our digital craze needs to pull back the rein a little bit. I understand buying Game Pass Ultimate, what I do, I go to the store, I get a card, I scrape it off, it's a code. Granted, the code better work. Most cases, 90% of the time it does. Okay? And it's not a problem there. But that 1% is a problem. I think people need to understand that. Understand a lot more about why that's an issue and why it is an issue that's going to affect a lot more people eventually. Because if you think about it, right now we're in digital age. Now, I downgraded my internet from 300 to 100, the spectrum, because I was part of the ADA thing and I had a discount and I was allowed to get this. And my internet speed feels the same to me. Didn't feel any different being 300, being 100 megabytes. But what happened if I had crappy internet that didn't work half the time? Trying to play a game online is impossible. Another part of the digital online only gaming structure that I'll cover in part 3 of State of Gaming later on down the line. This is Crisis One. This is Mark. Crisis. You want to call me? Signing out. Be blessed. Be safe. I'm gonna go to the gym. Peace out, everybody.